You are exhausted trying to find deals that actually pencil in this market. So you've decided that you want to partner with operators and folks with a lot of experience who are actually able to source deals that pencil right now and are transacting. But how do you make yourself as attractive as possible to these potential partners as a fund manager, as a capital raiser, as a syndicator? I have an enormous amount of tips and tricks for you all today so that you can partner with other people in this space and start deploying capital. All right, let's talk about it. Hey, real estate investors, fund managers, syndicators, and capital raisers. If you're struggling with falling short on your capital raises for your real estate deals, if you're also struggling with finding investors beyond your network of friends and family, if you are spending thousands and thousands of dollars and weeks on end to travel to conferences to try to find investors, only to find that the people at those conferences are also trying to raise capital from you, so you're not getting any traction. And if you're really struggling with predicting how much capital you can raise from a deal, because investors say they're going to wire to your deal and then they back out, and you are completely exhausted, hey, I've got you. Hit the subscribe and follow button, and I promise I will deliver free content to you every single week that's going to help you level up, make this capital raising game much better and more efficient. And we're going to do that week in and week out for you. Raising capital for real estate investing. How are you, family? It's great to see you here today. I am recording the day after the 4th of July, so I hope you all had as fun of a 4th of July as my husband and I did. We stayed local here in Los Angeles and, of course, enjoyed all of the crazy smoke from the fireworks. Had a fun potluck and barbecue with our friends and family. But wow, 250 years of the United States. Pretty darn cool, right? Yeah. It makes me think a lot about how blessed and grateful we are to live in this great country, which interestingly enough transitions perfectly into a DM that I received from a new friend named George. George, shout out to you. There is a member of our armed forces who is currently deployed in Iraq, who spent quite a bit of time sheltering in bunkers from incoming drones and missiles. And he listens to this podcast. And I'm just so humbled and grateful that he reached out and told me that he finds the podcast helpful and useful to him while he's doing such important work overseas on behalf of our country. And he's looking to get into the commercial real estate space and make have another stream of income for his family. So, George, shout out to you, friend. Thank you again for reaching out. It means more than I can tell you to have the honor of keeping you company on your runs in the desert. So, yeah, wow, it makes this podcast and what I teach even more meaningful. And George had this great question for me, and I thought, okay, I've got a whole bunch of different episode topics that I want to cover, but for someone serving on our behalf in the United States, I figured I would make a special podcast for him, knowing that it would help lots of other people as well in the capital raising, fund managing, and syndication space. So let's talk about it because you're feeling it. It's hard to find deals. And sometimes the best way to help our investors deploy their capital is to partner with other people who are able to source deals right now, who are able to find deals that actually pencil, that make sense. And so, whether it's a co GP structure, whether it's a fund manager structure, whatever that looks like, how do we make ourselves as attractive to work with these high caliber people that have a great track record, that are great partners? So we've got 4 categories here we're going to talk through as a checklist that you all can use to make yourself as attractive as possible to be able to work with these folks. Because let's face it, if you have a great track record as a syndicator, as an operator, as a fund manager, it's likely that you have a lot of people that want to partner with you and they might not be hurting for investor capital. So, how can you invest alongside and invite your network to join them? Okay, get out your pen and paper or your digital note-taking device. Or if you're George and you're on a run in overseas, friend, you can always go back and listen to this, or I'll grab you some show notes. But the first step, y'all, because I've done this countless times, right? I have almost half a billion in assets under management. These are for deals that I've personally found where I've had partnerships where, yes, that I've personally found the deals. And then I have other assets that I was not the person that found the deal, but I was the person that with bringing capital and of course participated at an asset management level and participated in the deal in that respect as well. So I've got quite a bit of experience here, and I'd love to teach you all how I've been able to make myself attractive to potential partners as a person that's going to co-GP and invite my friends and family, and of course, the other network that I've established to the deal. So the first step is building a relationship, and that, might not sound as sexy and strategic and tactical as you all may be looking for, but hey, this is a small industry and people like to do business with people that they like. That's just simply how it goes. So, are you someone that's even on their radar? Are you a known quantity in their sphere? Are you somebody that only reaches out when you need something? Or are you someone who's laying the groundwork month after month, year after year, building a relationship with folks, understanding what they need? Because as I mentioned, just because someone is raising capital for a deal, it doesn't necessarily mean that they need you. So they likely have, if they've got a great track record and they're the type of people you want to partner with as a capital raiser, they might not necessarily need you. So forming a relationship that's above and beyond just that transactional aspect of the relationship is incredibly important. I don't have a ton of people that I've personally partnered with because I'm very picky. I take a very long time to build relationships. But two out of the group that I've been very selective with over the past 7 years that I've partnered with, they didn't need me. They didn't. They could raise all the capital that they needed. They had an exceptional track record and plenty of investors looking to partner with them. So how was I able to invite my investors to invest alongside them? Well, I got to know them on a personal and professional level. I was able to not just show up and say, oh my gosh, I just need this from you all, but I was able to show up and understand what their needs were, right? Because oftentimes these groups have needs above and beyond just capital. They're people, they're businesses. Nothing ever runs perfectly or very efficiently. So I've been able to offer all sorts of, support and ideas in the capital raising space, in the fund management space, in the asset management space, as I mentioned. So there are lots of ways, and I'll let you get creative, but I talk to my students in my mastermind about how to make themselves as attractive as possible above and beyond just, hey, I can, bring several $1 million of investors to the deal. So, and that really extends to alignment as well. Are you the type of person that does what you say that you're going to do? Are you the type of person that follows through? Are you complainy or are you pleasant to be around? I'll never forget when I worked in biotech, I had a manager, gosh, this was almost 2 decades ago, who taught me about the airport test. And I don't know if you all have heard this, but the airport test is, let's say you and a colleague are at the airport and you all are going on a business trip together, maybe to go visit a property. And you hear from the airline that unfortunately your flight is delayed for 4 hours. Ugh, that's not fun. Do you look at the person next to you that you're doing business travel with and go, "Oh, no, I can't believe I have to spend more time with this person"? Or do you go, "This isn't ideal, but this person's cool. I enjoy hanging out with them. We can make this work. We'll make the best of the time and, we'll enjoy ourselves despite the circumstances that we can't change." That's the airport test. Don't underestimate being a person that passes the airport test for a business relationship. It matters. It really, really does. But those values alignments, of course, because like it or not, the type of investors that you bring to a deal are likely going to mirror you. Not 100%, but are they going to have an abundance mindset? Are they going to be a pain in the butt to work with? Do they do what they say that they're going to do? Do they believe that impact on the community, having a positive impact on residents' lives. Is that important, or is everything about the almighty dollar and we're pinching every single penny out of everything we possibly can get? So, who you are, how you behave matters. And that might not be one of the sexiest answers again, but it is true. So, the second strategy is, who are you around and who are you connected to, and who can speak about you positively when you're not in the room? So, this involves the connections that you're making in the industry. So, are you in mastermind groups above and beyond just the guru that you decided to be a part of? There's nothing wrong with them, but you and I all know that they don't necessarily teach you how to raise capital beyond friends and family. And yes, they may help you partner with more seasoned people that are looking for capital partnerships. But I wouldn't be in just one group. I would make sure that I'm networking and I'm present in various rooms throughout the commercial real estate industry. So there are meetups that happen virtually. There are local groups to where you are, where you can network. I myself have a mastermind, and my students and I make those connections. I help them make connections with folks that are active in the space, that are looking for partnerships, or some that even aren't, where we can get them in rooms that they wouldn't already be in. So these connections, and not just, this is a team sport, right? So not just white knuckling it on your own, trying to figure out what you need or how you can be connected to these fantastic people that are still transacting, that you can introduce your investors to, but intentionally being in masterminds, being in groups, networking intentionally can get you where you want to go on so many levels, not just in finding partnerships. Okay, number three is having the ability to predictably forecast the amount of capital that you can raise. So this is going to vary, right? If you're a fund manager and your fund, the capital is already raised, you're just looking to deploy, that's a bit more straightforward. If you're doing a co-GP type relationship where you're raising on a deal by deal basis, are you the type of person that says, "Hey, I'm going to bring XYZ amount of capital to the deal, in addition to, bringing asset management experience, financial analysis experience, all of the other things that we do above and beyond just capital raising as partners in a deal?" Or are you the type of person that has no idea how to forecast this, is all over the place, or falls short on a raise consistently? Why does this matter? Capital raising today is not the way it was in 2022, let's be frank. And people don't necessarily want to take a chance on people that don't have all of their ducks in a row. So, being able to and having the proper ability to correctly forecast your capital raising capacity, incredibly important, incredibly important. And that's important for compliance reasons as well, by the way. We can get into that on another episode, but I teach my students how to properly forecast their capital raising capacity, which involves, that middle part of the funnel where we're getting to know and we're nurturing our investors. Our investors have already raised their hand to say, "Hey, I'm really interested in this space. I want to continue growing this relationship." We keep close tabs on understanding how much capital our investors are looking to deploy, what type of deals they're looking to deploy their capital in, and how much they're looking to deploy under what period of time. So, we just hit the beginning of Q3 of 2026. Each one of you should know how much capital each investor in your CRM is looking to deploy between now and the end of the year. What type of deals are they looking for? What are their goals? And if you don't have, that's going to dramatically hinder your ability to forecast the amount of capital that you're able to raise. And if you can't forecast, it's going to be really, really difficult to meet your goals and be the type of person that those that are transacting with right now want to be business partners with. So make sure you have that going. And if you aren't sure how to do that, there are resources like myself that can help you do that. So, not so subtle plug. I've said this before, but your reputation in this industry is incredibly important, right? People aren't going to give you chance after chance after chance after falling short on what you said that you're going to do. So, making sure that you're able to do what you say you're going to do and accurately predict that It's never been more important, and you're not going to get endless chances to do that, unfortunately. So, finding resources and making sure you're able to shore that aspect of your business up, yes, please start doing that now if you're not there. The last thing I'll emphasize here, just as a reminder, is you likely enrolled in some sort of education on how to underwrite a deal, right? And how to buy a deal, how to get your first deal or second deal across the finish line. You invested time and effort and money into that. Most people in our industry, those gurus didn't teach you how to raise capital or asset manage, to be frank, but didn't teach you how to raise capital above and beyond friends and family. So if your expectation is to be able to raise capital without formal training and investment over time, it's just kind of as wild as you would imagine it would be to be able to underwrite a deal and find a deal without investing time in education and coaching there. So it's just such an interesting dynamic that I think folks are coming to terms with of, oh, I spent all this time to learn how to underwrite. I could underwrite super well. I know how to find deals. But when it comes to capital raising, they're like, oh, I'm just going to kind of throw spaghetti at the wall and see what happens. And, it is just as important a part of your business, capital raising is as underwriting. So just a little emphasis there. So you are able to track kind of the effort and the commitment that it takes to be able to do this well, which I want you all to be able to do this well. And now that deals are a bit more scarce, it's never been more important for you to be able to create these partnerships based on your ability to contribute capital, to be able to asset manage and bring other skills to the table. All right, point number 4 that I don't hear talked about enough, and if you listen this far into the episode, congratulations, because you're gonna get some good nuggets. But your presence online when someone Googles you, someone asks AI about you, someone looks you up on LinkedIn, incredibly important. Obviously, we want to have a good fit in terms of your goals, in terms of your ethics for a partnership. We want people to be able to speak positively about you in rooms where you aren't present. We want you to be able to correctly and accurately forecast your capital raising ability. But people want to link arms with other people that make them look good and don't make them look bad. So if your website is kind of all over the place and not complete, if when people Google you, there's kind of a mix of random things, if your LinkedIn profile doesn't have a professional photograph where your face is taking up most of the space so people can get a good view of your smiling face, if you don't have a professional looking banner, headline, if you don't have a sophisticated presence and branding. Look, it may not be fair. Don't shoot the messenger, but people aren't going to take you as seriously. It's incredibly important for your branding and your online presence to speak about you and come before you. So, this is the world of marketing and branding. And so, whether it's not fair, whether it's not accurate, you may be saying, Amy, but I'm great at what I do. I just haven't been able to shore up my online presence. I get it, friend. I really do. But just as with talking to investors and how they infer your competence, your trustworthiness, your ability to help them reach their goals or mitigate pain, it's the same with the potential business partners in this space. If you look like you're brand new, if you look disorganized, if you don't look like you have everything put together that you need to have put together, you're shooting yourself in the foot unintentionally. And that's a big thing that we talk about in my LinkedIn Capital Raising Secrets course as well, because it's not just the content that you put out there, again, on any social media platform or your website, but it's how does it look? Are you paying attention to the little details? Do you look like you've been there before and you'd be a trustworthy, put together partnership? No one wants to have a partner on the GP side or as a fund manager that's going to bring chaos. Real estate isn't easy. It has its ups and downs, and everyone deserves to have partners that are competent, that are accomplished, that have a stable, sturdy presence and branding. So, lots of details there, but the great news is, look, even if you've never done a capital raise before, you can still get started and get started with people that you really want to work with. Now, it may be the case that, you build relationships and you're not necessarily a part of the GP, but you're still getting to know people as you're building those relationships. You start to build trust and build experience. That's how I got into this industry. I just kept showing up and asking these really sophisticated players how I could help. Now, granted, not everyone wants help, and you need to know how to, you need to know how to be appropriate. But there are definitely great lead sponsors and operators that have a need that you might be able to fulfill above and beyond capital raising so you can build those relationships. And they don't happen overnight, y'all. So that's why it's a great idea to be in partnerships, be in mentorship programs, coaching relationships, in networking rooms where you have other people that are able to help you make introductions, speak on your behalf. It's a team sport, y'all. Okay. Oh, this is a great episode. George, thank you for your service, sir. I'm so honored that you listened to the podcast. I hope this episode was helpful to you, good friends, and to all of you out there. This industry is, I know we've been in a lull. I know this cycle has been tough, but those people that are investing in education, in coaching, in mentorship, in networking, and all of those good things, ooh, is it going to pay off in the next 6 to 12 months? So I'm really excited you all are here investing in that and looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. Okay, enjoy your summer, folks. We're halfway through. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hey, real estate investors, fund managers, capital raisers, syndicators. If you are struggling with predicting how much capital you can raise for a deal, because investors say they're going to wire, but they actually back out, you struggle with finding investors beyond your network of friends and family, if you find yourself falling short on your capital raises for your real estate investments, and you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars to travel to conferences all across the country, only to find that the people you're hoping to raise capital from are also trying to raise capital from you, hit the subscribe and follow button, and I promise y'all are going to love what we're going to cover here. I'm going to deliver free content every single week in and week out, to help you get to the next level in your real estate investing capital raises.